40 years plus. I have seen it's good, I have seen it's bad, and even it's ugly. But at every juncture, I have always tried to do my best in the spirit of service to my party, but most importantly, service to this country that I love. I have both lost elections and won elections, taking each in my stride, learning that in politics, you can never be led by bitterness, anger, or hate. That only deviates you from your mission and vision. Wale wanataka kuendelea na matusi, hiyo ni shauri yao.
Former President Uhuru Kenyatta on Friday launched a strong attack on President William Ruto administration, accusing it of dismantling key achievements made during his 10 years in office and replacing them with what he termed as untested policies. Speaking at the Jubilee Party's Special National Delegate Conference NDC at Ngong Rescos in Nairobi, Uhuru framed the current government direction as a reversal of a progress that has been achieved under his leadership. The former head of state cited the Linda Mama program as one of the significant successes of his presidency that had been scrapped under the current administration. Introduced in 2013, the Linda Mama was a free health insurance scheme that provided a comprehensive maternal services for pregnant women and their newborns. It covered antenatal visit, hospitals delivery, postnatal checkup, and infant immunization. Uhuru told the delegate that the program had given vulnerable families access to safe and affordable healthcare, saving thousands of lives. Under President Ruto, Linda Mama was replaced by the new maternal care package under the Social Health Authority SHA, branded as Linda Jamii. The government argues that the new scheme broadens coverage and integrate maternal care into a wider health framework, but Uhuru dismissed it as untested and poorly prepared, saying ordinary Kenyans are yet bearing the brunt as they wait for the new system to take root. He warned that dismantling working programs before replacing men are fully functional creates a gap that harms citizens. The criticism is part of a broader attack on the government policy's direction. Uhuru said many of the flagship programs introduced in 2022 are experimental in nature with little proof of effectiveness. He argues that the government has placed rhetoric and political branding ahead of tested solutions, leaving millions of Kenyans uncertain about their access to essential services. His remark echoed the warning he gave during the 2022 campaign when he urged voters to look beyond slogans such as hustler and dynasty and focus instead on proven policy track records. In his address, Uhuru also raised concerns about how state resources are being deployed. He cautioned against the use of government machinery to intimidate citizens, arguing that security organs should serve as protectors, not threats. He said that during his presidency, significant resources had been invested in building a state that safeguards the dignity and welfare of its people, and that this vision should not be reversed. The former president reserved particularly praise for Kenyan's youth, highlighting that their role in last year's nationwide protest against Finance Bill 2024. He said their courage and unity showed the rise of what he described as a tribeless generation, unshackled from the ethnic division that have divided much of Kenya's politics. He urged them to go beyond street demonstration and seek political position, arguing that only by entering formal leadership can they channel their energy into a long-lasting solution. Turning to the 2022 general election, Uhuru revisited his long-standing criticism of the hustler versus dynasty narrative that dominated the campaigns in 2022. He said the framing was misleading and divisive, reducing leadership potential to family background rather than policy ideas. He dismissed the notion that being poor is a poverty automatically qualify one for leadership, just as being from a prominent family should not disqualify anyone. He emphasized that every Kenyan, regardless of a background, has equal rights to contest and lead if they present viable solution to the nation problem. The Jubilee Party leader also used the event to outline the party's plan ahead of the next general election. He announced that Jubilee would field candidates for all elective positions, significantly an attempt to re-establish the party's presence and nationwide. This is a significant shift as the party has in recent years lost influence following internal splits, defection, and its poor showing in the 2022 polls. To rebuild Jubilee's grassroots strength, Uhuru unveiled a national recruitment drive targeting new members. He promised that the process would be transparent, free from corruption that marred the party's preliminary in the past. He said the sale of party tickets to the highest bidders would not be allowed and instead that candidates would be chosen through open and accountable processes. He said the commitment itself personally to lead the recruitment effort, telling delegates he would travel to countries or counties to engage supporters directly. The NDC, attended by party officials and allies such as former Interior Cabinet Secretary Fred Matiang'i, marked the Jubilee most high-profile gathering in the recent years. For Uhuru, the event was more than just an internal party meeting. It was a platform to reassert himself as a national political voice and to position Jubilee as a credible challenger to the Kenya Kwanza dominance. His sharp criticism of President Ruto underscored the deep political division that remains between the two men 3 years after the bitter election. Uhuru's speech also carried a broader political implication by highlighting maternal health, youth participation, and state accountability. He sought to appeal directly to constituents that have felt marginalized or let down by the current administration. His remarks suggested an effort to better build Jubilee not only as an electoral vehicle but also as a party within clear policies alternatives. The attack on Ruto's policies is likely to trigger a strong reaction within the Kenya Kwanza coalition, which has defended its reform as necessary to modernize the health sector and expand the economic opportunities. The government has urged that the new program like Linda Jamii are part of the wider reconstructing designed to healthcare sustainable and accessible to all citizens.
And the start of a democratic process, because it is the people who will decide, sio watu wachache kujifungia pahali ama watumwe na watu wengine, kwa sababu tunajua hata hawa ni kutumwa, walikuwa wametumwa. Ni wananchi, members wa chama ambao watachukua hatua na decision ya kutueleza mwelekeo wa chama utakuwa mgani, sio watu wachache pahali kidogo huko. So, members of my family and members of my administration, But despite that, I stood at this same venue, ready to begin a process that should have been normal in any mature democracy. A process of rejuvenating our party and infusing it with new leadership